Thailand, the land of smiles and still one of the world's most popular tourist destinations. Less than 2 hours' drive from Bangkok Airport, the beach resort of Pattaya offers excited visitors beautiful beaches, luxury hotels, fine restaurants, and an unmatched nightlife. Yet beneath this veneer of happiness lurks a sinister element with an agenda all too different from those who visit. A concerted, well-planned and carefully coordinated effort to defraud a local children's charity of several 100,000 baht has been uncovered in the city. Shockingly, the mastermind behind this heinous crime is Pattaya's self-styled YouTube celebrity and convicted criminal, Trevor Knight. Knight, a 53-year-old former window cleaner from southeast England, moved to Pattaya some 12 years ago. Like many foreigners his age and living in Thailand, he is quick to boast of his life achievements. Among his previous occupations, Knight lists Special Operations Soldier, Semi-Professional Boxer and Trainer, Doorman, Celebrity Tattooist, Pro Pool Player, Singer, Drummer and English Football League referee. In reality, after a short period of service in the Army Catering Corps, Knight spent years in poorly paid, menial jobs until ending up on the wrong side of the law and receiving a prison sentence of 6 months for embezzlement. Upon release, Knight moved to Spain, where he took a lead role in a notorious timeshare scam, resulting in thousands of pensioners being robbed of their life savings. When the Spanish government eventually stepped in to shut down the scam, Knight and his co-conspirators were forced to flee to England. On his return, Knight used his ill-gotten gains to start a cleaning business. This collapsed within 10 years after Knight defaulted on over £100,000 worth of loans. Investigations have shown these loans were secretly funneled into Thai bank accounts owned by Knight in preparation for his master plan to escape overseas. Deserting several children from previous relationships in England, Knight bolted for Pattaya and began renting a studio apartment in an unfashionable area of town. Living on a retirement visa, Knight was anything but retired, becoming involved in several local business ventures, many linked to prostitution, gambling, and extortion. They have included operating a seedy taxi service to Pattaya, offering intimate female companionship to passengers, and promoting a low-class brothel in the infamous red light district of Treetown. The onset of COVID-19 proved a blessing in disguise for Knight when his YouTube channel focusing on Pattaya achieved a modicum of success, picking up subscribers longing to experience Thailand but unable to travel. Through super chat donations and reviewing local businesses in return for payment, Knight was able to make a modest living. Of course, this was not enough, and when tourism slowly began to return to the city, Knight saw an opportunity to exploit gullible, first-time visitors and began running bar crawls for cash payment. Billing bars up to 10,000 baht a month to bring tours to their establishments, whilst threatening bars with bad reviews if they refused. He also charged those attending 300 baht each and has reportedly strong-armed tourists into buying a minimum number of drinks. These unlicensed tours came to the attention of the Thai authorities, who subsequently arrested Knight for working illegally, and he was heavily fined. Despite this, he continues to run bar crawls as well as offering sex cruises on yachts chartered out of Pattaya Harbour. The behaviour on the bar crawls has been reported as appalling and has included public nudity from Knight personally, the theft of drinks, assaults on bar staff, and fighting. Seemingly driven by greed, Knight has dabbled in charity fraud for years, beginning in England and continuing by skimming collections in Thailand. Like all charity scammers who prey on the weakest, Knight has sought out those who will appear the most vulnerable, who he knows will generate the most sympathy and who will provide him the most revenue. His cause of choice has been the Anti-Human Trafficking and Child Abuse Centre, also known locally in Pattaya as Ban Kruya. Ban Kruya offers a home to some of Thailand's most at-risk children, and the centre's manager is widely respected across Thailand and overseas. Through the reach of his YouTube channel, Knight has raised hundreds of thousands of baht in the name of Ban Kruya, yet heartbreakingly, much of the money has never reached the centre. Desperate for food, clothing, and to pay the ever-increasing costs of the day-to-day running and upkeep of the centre, the manager has continually asked Knight for assistance. These pleas have fallen on deaf ears, with Knight not accepting phone calls and withholding money in his personal bank account. What little money that is spent is largely wasted by Knight on cheap toys which make for good photo opportunities and provide material for his YouTube channel. Despite well-voiced concerns for the children's dignity and their physical safety, Knight refuses to blur out children's faces in videos. This was even linked to the thankfully failed abduction of a child from the centre after they had been identified in one of Knight's YouTube videos. Knight's misuse of funds raised in Ban Kruya has been staggering and is many and varied. During the COVID-19 lockdown of Pattaya, Knight took money arbitrarily to fund food handouts for the jobless, which again made for good promotional videos. While this may have been a worthy cause, it was not what the money was donated for, and amounted to a massive breach of trust. Furthermore, the food handouts were suspiciously expensive given the amount of food distributed and few receipts were provided. Promises have been broken with the ease they were made to Ban Kruya. Knight raised money to take the children for a day out to a local crocodile farm. This was more than adequately funded by donations, but despite the children's excitement, it was delayed with a range of excuses by Knight for over a year. Pressure from social media groups watching Knight eventually cajoled him into action, taking the children on board BART buses to the farm, whereupon he announced he did not have the necessary entrance fee for the entire party. Thankfully, the kind owners of the attraction let the remaining children in for free, but Knight refused to pay for any food or drink. Despite this, abused children were paraded in front of Knight's video camera, with their faces clearly visible to satisfy his ever-growing need for YouTube material and desire for self-promotion. Some of the children returned to the centre severely dehydrated and required medical attention. Knight is quick to rebuke any personal criticism on his YouTube channel, and is not averse to threats of violence. His tactic of zero tolerance to comments perceived as negative across his social media platforms has built him a loyal following amongst the uninformed. Not deterred, popular Facebook group Pattaya 365 has meticulously documented Knight's fraudulent behaviour, and many local business owners are now beginning to turn their back on him. Nevertheless, what has been uncovered so far is merely the tip of the iceberg. Over the coming months, Buzzin Pattaya Uncovered will expose and provide evidence that, along with the theft and deceit, Knight is further engaged in a hated practice designed to save his own skin at all costs.